I'm the fuck out. I didn't even get started on what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Bro, that movie was crazy.
Crazy, Frankie. Yeah.
What are the specials tonight?
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Hey everybody, Specialists in Nothing, back at you again, talking about everything, specializing in nothing. My name is Frank. As always, Joe and Danny, you guys want to say what's up?
What up? What up?
How you doing? On you.
Wait, movies that what?
Movies that had a real deep impact on you. No
Does
pun
it have
intended.
to be growing up, or can it be now too?
I mean,
Because you could watch something now, and it could technically have made you.
Right, but let's
like,
go back.
the
Let's go
events.
back to the
But-
beginning. Danny's
Yeah,
gotta
first,
have
yeah.
he needs you from the beginning, then we'll do the
Mhm.
middle.
I just like order, man. But I guess like the term "movies that made us" is something that you would grow into. I would think, like what lessons you learned throughout watching this movie, or new emotions or new feelings towards a certain character because they either
So it has to be
resembled
something
somebody,
technically you watch multiple
or-
times.
Well, I guess that would probably be beneficial to it, but just
Because the way
there's
you just said
movies-
something you learned from it, like after that you didn't before. So like I'm saying,
like I'm gonna just we'll get into that too, but that's like the movie Schindler's List, right? I
Okay.
saw it maybe 3 times my whole life. It's not a movie you're like, I want to watch Schindler's List right now, but because of the way it was filmed and everything that was going on in the movie, I was like,
I've only
wow,
seen it
that shit
once.
hits differently. Sometimes you only need to see it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
Pretty
such a good
intense.
movie, but it's something that you're not gonna be like, let's throw on, that fucking movie again. Sometimes one time is good enough. Like for Darren, for instance, the Joker movie that just came out with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw it once, I'm good with it. I've already seen it 4 times. It's pretty good. I'm not thrilled about it,
Twice.
but like it's a psychological movie that
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit. So
Okay.
I guess
Well,
yeah.
going off of that, just because I'm just rolling with it, and you made
just
me
roll
think
with
of it.
it.
Psychological movies, something that made me, in the sense of like something that I really loved, impacted, that gets me into why I think conspiracy like and stuff like that, was the number 23. Always
Great
loved Jim
fucking movie.
Carrey.
Great
Jim Carrey,
fucking
just
movie.
growing up in general, like Liar Liar, The Mask stuff, I always really loved his movies. Like as a kid,
Yeah.
I would like act out his scenes in my living room, and like my family always like knew that I loved Jim Carrey like that. But then as I got older and the number 23 came out, that was a lot
hit
of
different.
it was a lot of like the conspiracy stuff in my head started to roll with it, and just that was such a good movie. Great written, directed, shot, loved it.
I thought it was really cool.
And I've seen that movie like over a dozen times for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Over a dozen times. I don't think I've seen it a little less than 10 probably. I would say, when did it come out? 20. No,
I'm not good at that.
I don't know. Anyways, I've seen
It's
it
been
maybe
out for a
6
while
times.
though. It's been out
It
for at least
has.
10 years.
Yeah, I've seen it maybe 6 times throughout. But like not from start to finish. This is just, it's on TV, so let me just finish watching this, or I'll watch the beginning of certain things. That's how I fucks with it. But I gotta tell you, like, so there's the Netflix show Movies That Made Us. Did you watch it?
No.
Yes.
All right, so there's a
All of it.
Netflix show. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
All right, can you explain it to him, because I'm not. I know what it's about, but I didn't see it.
So there's like they go through. So there's a couple of them actually. There's the toys that made us. There's the movies that made us.
Right, I saw the toys that
And-
made us actually.
right.
Well, like 3 episodes of it. 'cause
And they
it's
go
different.
through like a bunch of toys. So for instance, like
Teenage
Star
Mutant Ninja
Wars,
Turtles, Power
Teenage
Rangers.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power
Yeah.
Rangers. When all those toys came out, people were going like fucking crazy nuts for them. I
Okay.
mean, those are like such a big item during our childhood, like back.
So
in-
things that were trending.
right?
Okay.
Basically, things that were trending. Same thing with like movies that made us. So they would pick like 5 different movies. What was one of the movies? Actually, there's a
You know
bunch.
what? It was Ghostbusters, if I'm not mistaken.
Right,
Home
Ghostbusters
Alone,
was one of
Die
them.
Hard.
And anyway, they would literally dissect the movie, and they would do interviews of like the CEO who ran the production company at the time, the directors, some of the actors get on it, and like they just interview them and how big of a they give you like a behind the scenes of like what was really going down. You know what I mean? In the making of that movie.
Okay.
And they
So
give you a
I-
lot of behind the scenes shit and like how Like some of the movies, I think Dirty Dancing was one of them with Patrick Swayze.
I have
Wow.
them here. You want me to read them off quick? There's only
Yeah, read
eight.
them off.
All right. It was Dirty Dancing,
Dirty Dancing,
Home Alone,
Home Alone, right?
Good movie.
Ghostbusters,
Great movie.
Ghostbusters.
Die Hard, Season 2, Back to the Future, Pretty Woman, Jurassic Park, and Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Wow, those are all
Season
good. Yeah.
3 is coming out in October. Or
But
maybe it did already. I'm sorry. It did. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street,
All the
RoboCop,
horror ones. Yeah.
Aliens, Coming to
That's cool.
America, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Elf.
that's cool.
They're so dope, bro. You gotta watch it.
No,
Darren's
I'll
seen them
definitely
all.
check that
You're
out. I
like,
never even
so-
heard of it.
You find out so much shit about these movies, and you're gonna be like, what?
Well,
Some
it's
movies
cool
were
because,
supposed
yeah,
to be
exactly, it's
garbage,
movies-
and they ended up being like the fucking, like the movie of the fucking century.
Yeah, that's
Soundtrack
awesome.
good.
No, that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I did not know that that was a thing.
The thing.
What kind of movies would you guys consider yourself? I mean, we've done this before, but like, why are your favorite movies your favorite movies? Do they have some type of a connection with someone? Like, I'll always love Miracle on 34th Street as a Christmas movie because I saw that for the first time in the theater with my aunt. Yeah, Joe, I fucking love that shit.
No,
That is the perfect. It's just the perfect movie for like Christmas.
Yeah.
And
I
it's so
honestly
modern
don't think
day
that-
and relatable. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't want
Oh.
to say I've never seen it because I probably saw it when I was younger, but I don't remember that movie.
Which is cool because it's one of those movies that you watch when it's on. No one's gonna be like, yo, Miracle on 34th Street is my favorite movie ever.
No, I hear you, but for you, it has a sentimental value.
Right.
No,
So
I hear
like
that.
other movies like that, like Joe, is there something? Well, obviously
Well-
there is. I was saying, is there something that you and like your family used to watch all the time or something? Because I feel like you guys used to probably do that. Were you a family that did that?
Yeah, we were a family that did that. I mean, dude, we had every movie though. So it's like I sat
Joe's
down and
got-
watched every movie. So but like Halloween movies, scary movies are always a big thing.
That's always
Okay.
big for you guys.
Like a big movie for me, like growing up, was like Scream. When Scream came out, it was such a big deal. Like
Love
I was
that
playing
shit.
Manhunt at that time, Halloween parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like I did huge Halloween displays at my house every year. We did like a fundraiser. So those Halloween movies always hit hard, and Scream was like always that relatable.
And
it was
so
such a
now,
big deal at that time.
around Halloween time, when you guys would all do all this stuff for like the housing and the manhunt and all that shit,
Yeah.
would be, I'm assuming you'd be looking forward to watching those movies, right? Like
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
do you only watch those movies around that time?
Nah, if they're ever on, like I'll watch them. If there's something new on anything streaming that's horror or haunted, I watch it. You know what I mean?
I think
But
that it's so dope. that
around that time,
around that
November,
time, they're
October,
always
you know what I mean?
flooding the TV with those Halloween movies.
But I'll
I
always
feel him
make
with the
sure-
Scream thing too, just because of like playing Manhunt and like all that stuff too. But even like back in the
It
day,
just gave you
me-
that like excitement of like shit was
Oh, yeah.
happening outside of school, like there's a killer, you know what I mean, and a black costume
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
mask face. It was just I don't
No,
know.
but I was very into horror movies myself. Me and my Uncle Tom and my sister used to always go to horror movies like in the theaters when they would come out and stuff. And Scream was one of the ones that like came out around that time when we were teenagers and stuff. So
I love that shit. It was super scary, yo, because that was mad real.
no, Scream was a great movie. The first one.
Yeah.
First one,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
are gonna be so mad at me.
Hit me with the phone, you dick. I love that shit.
All right, so
Were you in the middle of saying something? I
no.
thought- Oh,
no.
okay.
I was gonna say so before when you said about like when you asked Joe like the like touch and thing. So the movie Stepmom,
Oh,
ever see
that's
that
a good
movie?
one. Yeah.
that
I've
movie
actually never
always
seen
gets
that
me.
movie.
Really?
Dude, good one. Susan Sarandon and who's it? Julia Roberts, right?
Yeah. Is it Julia Roberts? No,
Oh,
it's not
you
Julia
know,
Roberts.
I got a good movie too.
It's
Not
not
Julia
Julia Roberts, but I forget who it is. But so Susan Sarandon is their mom, and she has two kids. She's divorced. Her husband has a new
Yeah,
wife.
it is
now,
Julia
the stepmom.
Roberts.
Is it really?
Julia Roberts, Susan Sarandon, Ed Harris. Yes.
Wow, I did not realize that that was Julia Roberts. Okay, she's young then.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
1998.
the mom, I think she has cancer or she's sick.
She's
And
dying.
so the kids are like learning how to be with the stepmom and like this and that, but like as she's dying, like you see how the kids are with her and like her last few months and just the stuff she's going through with being sick and just all that stuff. And then she passes and the kids are with the dad and the stepmom and stuff. And like that just really fucking hits me because that's exactly what I fucking went through. So that movie always for me is just something that always, like, anytime it's on, like, I will usually watch it, especially if like nobody else is around or something like that. I'm watching TV by myself. But yeah, that's a movie that personally always hit me.
So that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
Because it shows like
Yeah.
you don't
like,
realize like all the stuff behind, like, you know,
the actual emotions and I guess
and
trauma.
they did a great job with that in that movie of like the daily fights of
Crossfading
like the stuff
everything,
they had. Yeah, of just all the different stuff they were dealing with while, like, you know, she's going through that.
And it's kids too. So it's like, you're not my real mom. And then you get the emotions from the kids, from the mom, from the stepmom.
And it's funny too, because in the movie, it's a older sister and younger brother, and I
Yeah.
have an older sister too. So like
Right.
it was just something that always like really touched personally close.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, and this is very randomly, this will happen. But I'll get in a mood, or if a song comes on my I was about to say on my Pandora, but I don't listen to Pandora. On like my fucking Apple Music is why I can't get out of the word. Ain't No Mountain High Enough. When that comes on my
Yeah.
headphones,
You think of that scene with her singing
bro,
at the kids?
no, I'll Google it. I will
Oh.
YouTube the scene and I'll watch the scene because it's a fun scene.
Great
I
scene.
love that shit.
That kid in that movie too, the little boy, so
Yeah.
funny, played such a good part.
Yeah.
But
So to jump off of Susan Sarandon, for some reason the movie Thelma and Louise sticks out in my head because I went to
all the movies that stick out to you are so old.
No. Yeah.
Like, Miracle on 34th Street, Thelma and Louise. Like,
I'm making connections though. This is the thing. I have an aunt, Anne Marie, who lives in Brooklyn, and she was super old school. She is like very low on whatever it was. Point is, she had a VCR and a TV, and she had like 5 movies. 2 out of the 5 movies was Willy Wonka and Thelma and Louise. So whenever we would
That's
go
Danny's
there,
only option. That's
I
why
would
he loves
choose.
it.
I think, yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't have Men in Black.
Oh damn, that's Joe's favorite.
I love
So I
that.
No,
just-
that's your favorite.
I only believe in aliens because of that movie.
See, so you understand why I think there's other universes out there. But that's some cool shit. Other movies, like what are some other movies you loved growing up?
You know,
Pool
I
Hall
seen
Junkies.
when Pool Hall Junkies.
Pool Hall Junkies is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've literally, okay, so no joke. If you're talking about most movie I've ever watched, it would be that movie. I've easily watched that movie hundreds of times,
Yeah.
Hundreds of times.
like hundreds of times. No joke. There was a point where you could ask Karen, like, I would watch that movie all the time, and she would just be like, "Not again, seriously."
Wait, wasn't it? I forgot when it was. It was early on when we started this podcast. But like Frank was 100% on something, and I asked him a question about it, and he was like, "I don't remember." I'm like, Frank, you said you saw the movie like or something like that. I don't know. That just clicked into my head. We got to look back at that. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
but no, Pool Hall Junkies was great. Christopher Walken is in it, and the rest of the cast is like basically nobodies. It was an independent film. It wasn't even like something that was in theaters or like, but it was I forgot how I got the DVD from somewhere, someone or whatever, and I just loved the movie and I kept it. And dude, I watched that thing so many times, and then even now I've streamed it or seen it on cable or whatever.
You know what movies I watched so much when I was a kid, man? And you'll know why, obviously. The Three Ninjas.
Oh, because my boy's
I
a
watched
black
that.
belt.
That's right, because I was into fucking karate. Those
Rocky
movies I
loves
watched a
Emily.
million times as a kid.
Yo,
Million
100%.
Rocky, Colton, Tum Tum.
Yeah,
Oh,
boy.
it's just
I see. I can remember those 3 names. Couldn't
Yeah,
remember
right?
the Animaniacs though.
couldn't remember
But they
Animaniacs.
can't remember the Animaniacs. It's crazy.
Remember Rocky, Colton, Tum Tum though. That was like something that impacted me for sure.
You know what? I never understood where the grandpa came into play because he's like super Japanese, and then it's like
The
his
mom and the
daughter
dad
is
are so
white, and so is the dad.
I think
I'm like,
they said it before. They mentioned it.
they might have, but then there
I
was
think
like
they were all in the car together when that got brought up.
I don't remember
front of the
exactly.
I think it, like because he was the mom's father,
Yes,
and so her mom was white also, and like that's why she was.
yeah, but to come out that white, I mean,
I mean,
damn.
it happens.
I guess so. I guess you're right. I just thought it was hilarious that this movie, the plot was the dad's business partner is a like a ninja
Undercover ninja.
who had beef with the father-in-law. Then that shit was crazy.
And the
He was
kids
playing
took
the
down
long
all
con.
the fucking experienced
Yeah,
fighters.
that was
yeah.
real dope though. I always wanted to live in that little area where they do the training with the trees with the dummy. Light up the eyes,
Yeah.
boys.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's dope.
He does this weird face at the end. It looks like he's stroking out. He does that thing with the eye. He's like, it's like his face is back crooked.
Oh man,
Fuck, man. Yo,
that's funny. Yeah,
when
can
go ahead.
no.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
no. Go.
No,
I
no,
was just
go
gonna say.
ahead,
So
go
I'm
ahead,
looking
go
at this
ahead.
list of like Danny's list that he made and stuff of like stuff to think of, and I'm surprised that you haven't said A Bronx Tale yet.
It's on there.
No, I know. I'm surprised that you haven't said it. Like that was one of the ones that like came out right away.
Oh,
'cause,
well,
like,
we're flowing right now.
I also
so.
think any mob movie for me growing up was such a like.
You
yeah,
know
I mean,
what?
just because my family always liked them and stuff, but I was never really that big on them. Like I liked The Sopranos more than most of
The
mob
what?
movies.
Sopranos.
Sopranos, whatever.
Bro.
Fuck you guys.
Come on.
Yo, please, whoever. If we have an audience member who's a speech therapist and would like to get paid half,
Bro,
of
it's
what
not
we
a
get
speech
paid.
therapist. Like, you know that I lived a third of my life on the West Coast, and you guys have only lived on the East Coast, right? Like,
So
there are
far
certain
we got
things that I pronounce differently
So far we
sometimes.
got Thanos.
It just
and
comes out differently
Sopranos.
sometimes.
I'm sure there was something else that he said.
Same
We'll
thing,
have
like
to-
you know the difference. Like people on the West Coast say like what I can't even say it anymore, and then like now we say water. So, but then there's other people that say water. Like it's just different pronunciation. Some words come out differently for me.
Fair enough.
I'm a nomad, man. I lived all over this
I'm a
country.
nomad.
Yes, Aaron is a nomad. I will find
Aaron's definitely a
randomly
nomad. He's more nomad than anybody.
anybody that I've ever known.
Or is it
Ever.
a lot of places?
Not even that. He'll just travel. I ran
Oh,
into
like just
him.
doesn't care, go anywhere and just on a whim.
Yeah, like
He's
just everywhere.
everywhere.
I'm
He'll
like, dude,
make it.
Aaron,
He
what are you
makes
doing
it
here?
everywhere.
Wherever you go, you tell him.
Well, you know what, too?
He'll be there.
I know, like, cause he, or at least for a while, he was doing the app where like he could get work on the app for like
Before
different
this,
service
I'm
jobs
talking
and this
about
and that.
like
Oh, okay.
10
Because I was
years
gonna say
ago.
like that's cool for that. You can make sure you're still making money anywhere. Like you'd be good, you know.
yeah, that's pretty chill. No,
Wow.
no, but there's some other shit. I've been to the
wow.
movies a couple of times with Aaron. Actually, he's a cool. So quick story about this. We were going
Who,
to see.
Aaron in the
Yeah.
movies?
We were going to see the Star Trek movie, right when it first came out.
Really? We
so-
started talking about Star Trek before Star Wars.
Well, I brought up Aaron, so I'm telling you a story about Aaron. We are in like Springsville, right? Pick up weed, little dub, whatever. He insisted on it. Now
He insisted.
we grind it up, and I have the blunt like in my dash. We were just gonna go to the movies, smoke outside, go check out this movie. Once we pick up from his friend, we pull around the corner, stop at the stop sign. A detective car comes out, pulls up in front of us.
Jeez.
Both of them get out with their guns drawn at Aaron and I. I'm like, Aaron, put your
Yeah.
fucking hands up. Put your fucking hands up, Aaron. Aaron is like, dude, what the fuck is going on? We're both shitting our pants. They're like, get out of the car. I'm like, I'm gonna unlock the door. I unlock the door. They take us out. They put us both in cuffs. We're in front of my fucking car now. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm not going to jail for weed. No way.
You still had the
They
stuff.
Crazy.
Bro, they wound up searching my car. They took the weed out and they poured it on the floor. They made us step on it. They were looking for pills and heroin. This is also like, I'd say like 12 years ago, like maybe
Wow.
10 to 12 years ago. So we're like, fuck, they let us go. They're like, next time have a couple beers. I was like, and drive to the movie theater?
Couple
Like,
beers.
I was like, all right. So we get back in the car and I'm like, fuck it. We drive to the movie theater.
He goes and drive to the movie theater.
He's like, fuck, bro, I was really tight. I really wanted a blazing high for this. I was like, all right, well, guess what? Boop, open up center console. I had one ready to go. I just didn't tell him anything. So that's a full circle to that story.
Wait, but they didn't see it when they searched your car?
No, because it was like not just the full open. It's like the top of the middle opens.
Oh, like
and
you
then-
had two compartments.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what
That's a funny
Volvos are the
story.
best, dog.
Remember me, you, and Barb got fucking pulled up on?
Yo, we did at the movie theater.
At the movie. That's
Oh
That's
my
funny.
God. That was
So
shit.
lesson here, kids: don't smoke at the movie theater. Smoke and then go to the movie theater.
I don't know. Shit was weird. But
Oh.
I'm gonna rattle off a couple of these because we got a bunch. I just want to know if you guys have seen
You
him,
got a
loved him,
bunch.
or hate him. All right, let's just do that. I'll do it quick.
All right.
I will get into Star Wars because I know you want to get into Star Wars, but I'm gonna
You know what's
start.
funny though, and I'm just gonna say this real quick. I didn't actually get into Star Wars until later in life. Like
Me
that
neither.
wasn't something for me that like as a teenager, as a kid that I got into. I got into Star Wars when I was in my 20s.
Same. I wasn't into it when I was younger.
No,
Mhm. And
me
it's
neither.
it's funny because even now, like I do try to really push it on my kids so much, but like it really is such a good story, like such a long, great story. But I'm sorry, go ahead, go rattle your things off. We'll get into it after.
No, it's okay. Actually, don't even worry about that because now I'm thinking about something else.
Okay.
My buddy, excuse me, Nick
Let's-
Potato. Shout out to Nick Potato, great guy. And
And
Anita, if she's listening to the podcast, this kid loves Star Wars.
Really?
Beyond.
I didn't know
Beyond.
that.
Yeah, dude, he is a fanatic.
Oh man. Did you
Most
finish
of the
Book of
time-
Boba Fett yet, by the way?
I didn't. I have 3 episodes left.
Oh, those are the best 3.
Nick had Star Wars toys from the get-go once we were kids. So whenever I think of Star Wars, I think of him and vice versa. So I can't even tell you countless birthday gifts or maybe like a Christmas gift or whatever if we're exchanging. It's like
Always something Star Wars.
excuse me, Star Wars galore. I made him a really dope R2D2 shirt. It's like the top third of R2D2 and then the rest of it is just dripping.
That's
It's
dope.
sick. It's real cool.
It sounds
So-
dope.
That is
Anyways, that's basically my Nick Potato Star Wars.
dope. Well, that's
Joe, are
what's
you
up.
into Star Wars as much as Frank is?
No, not as much. I love it, but not to that extent that some people get to with it.
Have you seen like all the side stuff and everything though, like the series? and,
Nah,
like, all that
not
stuff?
really. I still making my way through the Mandalorian.
I got you.
You didn't see?
I gotta
Mandalorian?
say,
Some
I
of
was-
it.
Oh, okay. No, I gotta say, I was actually very surprised that. So my buddy Pete is like the biggest person that I know that's into
Pete
Star
Pete?
Wars. Yeah, little Pete. Yep,
Yeah, okay.
from Long Island. Yep.
Shout out Pete.
He's probably the biggest Star
Wow.
Wars person that I ever knew first, and he got me mostly into it. After I
Really?
really started getting into it and like watching all the movies and stuff, more recently he told me, he was like, "You have to watch the Clone Wars." I was like, "Oh, but it's animated. Like, I don't really want to watch a cartoon." He's like, "Trust me, dude. Like,
It's dope.
watch it, and it's dope." I have to say, it was my best. It was my favorite part of Star Wars. Like, if there was one side series or movie or something that I would personally pick out, it would have to be Clone Wars. It was
Really?
so dope. It explains, because so many people saw the
See, I
first three
saw
that came
Clone
out.
Wars before I started going back and like literally timelining it and getting
Yeah,
into
well,
it.
you need that too, partially because if you just see the movies
So-
that came out and you see Darth Vader, and then you see the 3 that came out after episode 1, 2, and 3, and you watched it in that order, a lot of people just were like, "Oh, Anakin's such a bitch. He was just so like emotional, this, that." And the Clone Wars really showed like what they did to him, how they like betrayed him like multiple times, and why he had
Why he got
questionable
so
things
much
in him.
vengeance in him.
Why he had so much hate. And a bigger part of that too is the Yoda says in the beginning when they first get Anakin that he's too old to do it because he has the attachments, and a lot of the stuff with his mom and losing Padme and everything, that's what made him all that stuff. Those attachments, that love, is what Palpatine could use against him and not
Yeah.
any other Jedi. And that's why it was like a turning point, because no other Jedi had attachments of love that could be reminding of their mother or this person that they fell in love with or whatever. And he always did have that. That was his weakness. But that's what I'm saying. It was such a good love and fight and like just it's just such a good guy, like romantic, like fighting action story that was like all
Yeah.
wrapped into one. I think so anyway.
No, it is. It's awesome.
So I didn't watch that. How many seasons is it?
I want to say it's like 6.
6 seasons? Damn.
Yeah, but
sorry,
they're
bro, you
short. They're
lost
like
me.
the 20 something minute episodes.
Oh,
Like,
they're quick.
Yeah, they're quick. It was like I finished it in like a week. It was very quick. But yeah, that was definitely my favorite. It really did show a lot of stuff. And then it was cool because after I watched that, like Joe, I don't know if you ever saw like Bad Batch, but that was
Nope.
another cool one that was funny too, because like it connected with that, and like it was just a funny series that was like spin-off, that was like a funny animated show.
Right.
But all right, I'm done.
Sometimes
with
those turn out to be really good, man.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's great because that's the other thing too. Like George Lucas, like opened this up so good with the way of how he did the middle three, then the first three, and then the last three, and now all these things like Jon Favreau coming out with the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and stuff. Those are all things that were like comics and like parts of the story that were written in there. Like even the game that came out, The Fallen Order, it has Cal Kestis, who is a Jedi that like takes place to help while Darth Vader is out there. But
I haven't
when like
played all the games yet. I heard they're freaking all amazing.
I just finished beating Fallen Order and it was so good. It was amazing. Just the fact of like my favorite thing was that you could, because you are a Jedi, so having the lightsaber and using all the force and stuff, dude, you could grab the freaking bad guys and pull them right into the front of you and then just stab them with the lightsaber and kill them. It was so fucking dope.
That's pretty cool.
But so even that, like his story was a real part of the storyline that was like in the comic books that they made in the game that was done well with Lucasfilms and stuff. Again, done so great. EA Sports did a great job. But just every part of that series has been executed perfectly. I don't think there's ever been one part that I was like, yeah, I didn't like that movie. I mean, and there are some people that didn't like episode 1, 2, and 3 for certain reasons and blah, blah, blah. But I personally loved all of them.
You a big Star Wars guy? Big Star Wars guy?
Huge now.
Sounds like a huge Star Wars fan.
But all right, so go back.
I feel like Joe was a Power Ranger guy.
I was so big into Power Rangers, man.
I definitely could see Joe a Power Ranger guy. Did you see
I was
the
a
movie?
Power Ranger for like 4 Halloweens out of like
You know the Green Ranger, the guy, the slick hair or whatever?
yeah.
He's on TikTok now.
Is he?
Like he does all his memorabilia.
He always does a lot of shit, that guy.
Yeah, he does all his memorabilia, like with the Power Ranger stuff. He goes live and like talks to Power Ranger fans and stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I guess that was like the only thing he ever did though. So that's
I want you to get this guy to send you a message going, it's morphin' time.
Yo, I would love to get him on an interview on the show going, it's morphin' time.
That'd be pretty dope.
I would get him on the show. That'd be awesome.
When I was a child and I would watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I would dress up as a Ninja Turtle with the mask and have my nunchucks that I made out of toilet paper rolls. And I would sit there with all my toys and I would watch all of them. Well, I would play with all of them and I would watch number 1 and number 2. Those are my 2 favorites. Back to back to back to back. The way your children watch The Grinch or listen to Harry is how I was watching Ninja Turtles.
I feel you.
That shit got me dope. I mean, it's
funny that my
That shit got
nephew
him
does
dope.
that. Like when he watches movies that he's into, like he was into Coco. And like, you know how Coco, like the kid wears the red hoodie and stuff. So he would always wear his hoodie and zip it up and put the hood on and like have the guitar and like same thing like how you're saying, like with the Ninja Turtles. So that I believe it.
Coco's such a good movie. Oh,
Great movie.
It's fucking
Yo,
what
speaking of
Disney does-
movies.
there we go.
Dude, forget about all these other movies. I don't think there's any other movie I haven't watched more than any Disney movie back in the day. I mean, like everything. On
When I was
repeat.
younger, Aladdin and Lion King were
Jungle
probably
Book
my
was
2
mine.
favorites. Jungle Book,
was
yeah.
yours?
Yeah, I had that shit
Baloo?
on repeat.
All right. That's a good one too. Great songs in that one.
That's a good one. I like that. Peter Pan was my favorite.
I knew that was coming
Pan.
out. Ariana
That was probably
loves
my
that
second
movie.
fave. Captain
We
Hook.
just
I was
recently
obsessed
watched-
with Hook.
We just recently watched Peter Pan and then the second one, Return to Neverland, when they take Jane, Wendy's daughter, and she loves both of them. It was so funny at the end of it. She was like, "Peter's safe," because they have him like tied up on the ship and then like
Yeah.
they rescue him, and Jane rescues him, and she's like, "Peter's safe." I was like, Uncle Danny would love this right now because I know you love Peter Pan. So
Joe's favorite Disney movie is Fox
what?
and the Hound.
Oh, you had to
Really?
tell him?
Great
I
movie.
love it, bro.
great movie. That's a good one. I
It's
did watch
such
that
an
a lot when I was
underrated
younger.
movie. It's got such an amazing story. I love animals. It's animals.
I hear you.
I love you,
And
dog.
It's so raw. It's like in the woods. I love it. It's great.
It's super emotional because you
So
bond with that.
emotional. Yeah.
You know, like Fox and the Hound, they become best friends and they're like torn apart. But they're like, no, he's my best friend. I'll never do that to you.
No,
I
yeah,
love that
man.
movie. Such a great Disney movie.
I gotta
Walk
say,
with
it's,
you into the depths of hell
it's
with
great
you by
how
my side.
every
Page
Disney
Master.
movie
How
has
about
that.
Oh,
Fucking
great.
sorry
Macaulay
to cut you
Culkin?
off, bro, but
No, great movie,
another
Macaulay
repeat
Culkin. Well, actually, you
So-
just stumped my point that I was going to make because I was going to say, how come every Disney movie has to have like that moment of sadness in it? And I don't really think that movie had any sad points in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
really?
course.
Well,
Well, no, that movie's more
not
about
compared.
bravery.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know Anita, Nick's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
She is a librarian. She's never seen The Page Master.
What? Great movie.
Never. So
I mean, I get
lent
it
her
though.
the
It wasn't like a
DVD.
popular movie.
She
Like, it
watched
wouldn't be
She's
on
like,
movies that made
how
us the
has
show.
I've never seen this before. I was like, well, I'm glad that you did. Being a librarian. Christopher Lloyd is in that also.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No. I was just saying it wasn't a movie that was like popular, like on the show, like movies that made us. Like you were saying, it wouldn't be
Right,
like on that.
no.
It wasn't like a trending movie that was popular. So it makes sense for a lot of people to have missed it.
So going back to what Joe was saying before about like the Fox and the Hound, how he loved it because it was like, would you say because you could relate to a bond that they shared?
Oh, he's trying to get you to open up too.
Bro, I'm not getting emotional, man. Why do you always gotta go there?
Trying
to
And
get
then you
real,
try to
bro.
go there with me. Like, what do you? What? I had that bond with you, Danny.
You had that bond with me.
Yep. And Florida's trying to rip you away. No, it's my best friend.
I feel
He ain't
that.
going, and if he goes, I go too.
Who's
shit.
coming with me, man? So what I was gonna say was I was gonna just tell a quick itty bitty story, but what I was saying is the bond that you see between Fox and Hound was for me the movie Pearl Harbor. You guys see Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. With
Ben
Josh
Affleck.
Hartnett?
Pearl
Josh
Harbor, yes.
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett, dude.
Whatever. Fuck you.
Whatever. Fuck you.
What's his name?
Josh Hartnett. Yes, but either way,
Is it with a
that's
T?
it.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Hartnett.
I don't know.
Anyways, me and my boy
Hartnett, oh.
Steve would watch that shit all the time, and it was like one of those real emotional, like brothers fight to the end type of shit. And now it's kind of weird, and I don't watch that movie anymore because we don't talk. And I'm just like, it might seem petty, but I'll be honest with you, it just you boys with someone for 30 years and you just stop talking. Whatever. We're not gonna get into that, but Steve, if you're listening, call me, bro.
He's definitely gonna call you. He's like, bro, really? You had to fucking say that shit on there?
Yeah, because
What a
whatever.
dick.
Anyways,
All right, so wait, I'm still waiting for you to rattle these off. Like, let's go.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
you like this? You didn't? Did it impact you? Did it not? Because like you got a lot of things on this list here, and there's no way we're gonna talk about all these. And like even me,
Nah.
like there's still definitely a few I could mention, but you got a lot of good ones on here.
so a lot of these movies, why I made this list is because they're either very classic film movies, such as like Raging Bull or like North by Northeast or Psycho, Casablanca, things like that, where it stems from those classical films because I took film in school. And this is some of the movies that we reviewed. It's very interesting. God with the Wind, shit like that, you know? And then it
You
gets
said
into
You said Raging Bull, and it made me think of. Have you guys ever seen The Fighter?
yeah,
I
with
don't think
Mark
so.
Tom
Wahlberg and
Hardy?
Christian Bale. What?
No, Tom Hardy. Oh, wait, that's The Fighter with Christian Bale when he's his brother.
This
and
is
he's a
why I
trainer.
have trouble trusting Frank
Um,
with facts.
No, would you? Fuck you. No, what's it called though? It's something similar. Like it
Oh, Brokeback Mountain.
no, But no, it's Tom Hardy and his brother, and like Tom Hardy is like tough, like blue collar work or whatever. His brother is more of like a white collar, and they like
Sounded
didn't
a
really-
lot like Brokeback Mountain.
they didn't really talk at all. And they were both UFC fighters, and they go into this tournament, and like they end up
Oh, the
having to fight
fighter.
each other.
With Christian Bale, yeah.
No, it's not
What are you
Christian
talking about?
Bale. I'm not talking about Christian
Frank
Bale.
doesn't
That's,
even know what he's talking about.
that's when
right
he's
now.
his like drug addict brother, and that's
Yeah,
a different
Christian
movie.
Bale.
Yeah, that's a different movie. That's
The
not what
Fighter.
I'm talking
Is that not
about.
what you're talking about? Oh.
No,
Frank doesn't. Frank, what's the name?
I'm gonna look it up so I can prove you wrong.
Prove me wrong. You can't even prove you right. What do you mean? All right. Well, while you do that, I feel like Forrest Gump is a movie that we need to touch on quick because that
I mean, bro, that's just a classic movie. Like, I don't think that really had like an impact on me.
that movie I feel is the American history from
Okay,
the 1930s on about it. Forrest Gump touches everything. It was a metaphor for society. If you
I really
really
like
think
Forrest
about
Gump.
it. What the
I felt bad for him the whole movie. Like it was something that, like
Why?
I just
Fuck, man, the
cause
whole movie.
like he does, he has a difficult life. It's I feel bad for him the whole movie. The movie I was talking about was called Warrior. It's with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton or whatever his name. Yeah, Edgerton. But that's the movie I'm talking about. So yes,
Oh,
The
I haven't
Fighter
seen it.
must have stuck out
I
because
don't know.
I don't. But that movie is a great movie, and that stuck out because when you said Raging Bull, Tom Hardy played such a great role in
Gotcha.
that movie.
Okay. So
But The Fighter
you.
was also a good movie too.
yes, it was.
That movie
I like
was a
Mark
good
Wahlberg.
movie.
He's a really good actor.
Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg.
Yeah. All
No,
right,
but
so
even
I'm-
if Christian Bale played a great
Christian Bale played
role
a
in
great
that,
crackhead.
and dude, he got
He
so
played
thin
him
for that
awesome.
movie. He
Played
played
so
awesome
good.
role. And if you know like the real brothers, he played that role really well because there's clips of like the brother and like I think they show it at the end of the movie and
Acting
stuff too.
just like that. And
Dude,
looking
he
just like
really
him.
did. Yeah, when they're sitting on the couch, right? It cuts to the real brother,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
did. He played him spot on from what they showed.
Shit, dog.
Shit, dog.
All right, so go ahead, rattle them off.
All right.
What are you rattling off? What do you mean?
He's just gonna
I'm
list
just-
a bunch of movies and ask like if they were something that we did like growing up or
Why?
didn't.
I got a movie I want to talk about.
Oh,
Talk
okay.
about it. Joe never
Sandlot?
wants to talk.
Out of focus.
That's it.
That was a great movie. Oh,
Great. Yes, that was a great movie.
I got
Focus with Will
freaking.
Smith.
I got canceled.
come back to us, Joe. Come closer to the speaker.
Zoom said you got a movie? Nope.
There it is. There's Joe's face, everyone. I don't know why that happened. Sometimes it'll come back in a second though.
Look at my
There it is.
hands.
You know what it might be? It's the lights in the background that
Listen,
are making
Danny.
it blurry.
Don't talk about my lights, man.
Make it
Controller?
no. Do like do like white for a second, just so you right in the room, and then focus, and then press the fade again.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to control this thing.
I got the same one as you. Look at my thing.
Yeah.
See right here?
Bye.
Press the. All right,
It's
cool
like a
up.
bunch of circle.
They go around like a circle. Bro, Sandler movies are fucking hilarious. All right, so I'm gonna list a couple of movies. You
No,
read
he
this-
had something movie to talk about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
My
just wanted to
bad, my
focus.
bad.
He got canceled.
I forgot.
I'm blurry face the rest of this channel.
All right.
That's whack.
I don't get it because normally when he goes like this and pulls it back, it does work.
Yeah, it sometimes it'll just kick in. Who knows? Let me know when the Molly hits. You
Go
can do it.
focus.
I kill it to clip
Focus.
Bro, it's all up in your grill.
It's not working.
All right, well, tell us this movie because we can still hear you.
Sandlot. What is there to tell you?
That's a great movie.
Great movie.
Great Bambino.
Who's your favorite character in The Sandlot? Because there was a lot of them.
Only trouble is she never hit send. Read it.
I'll tell you right now.
Who?
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
You would like Benny the Jet. Danny's always like a main. He likes the main character type of person. He
No,
likes the
because-
hero. He likes the main.
Of
Always.
course.
No,
I like the two that repeat each other.
Squints. I love Squints.
No, well,
Oh, no.
Squints is not the one that repeats.
Joe's back in focus, ladies
the
and gentlemen.
two, the two
Oh!
brothers,
Yeah,
the two
yeah.
brothers that always repeat each other. No,
Yes.
yeah, is the one that always says yeah. He's like, I'm trying to think of what they say. The soul, the swat, and then the other one said repeat. Oh, he always repeats the same thing that he says. I always thought that they were funny.
Timmy
But-
Timmons and Tommy Repeat.
Yes, there you go. Nice. I don't know. I always laughed at them in the movie, and yeah, I do like Squints. Squints was one of my favorites too.
All right, so I'm gonna rattle these off. We're gonna go with high impact,
Wow,
low
I'm
impact.
like really in focus now.
That's it, baby. I told you, you gotta turn the lights all the way on and then they
HD.
fade
Oh,
back.
yeah, I gotta fix this. I don't like this.
So I'll rattle them off. You let me know. High impact, low impact. Ready? Titanic.
Low.
Titanic? Whoa.
Yeah. All right. Ghostbusters.
Hi.
Big.
Bambi.
Big in the call. Pretty
Wait,
big.
why are you skipping? Because you just skipped one that I
Because
wanted
we
to
got
hear.
a lot. I'm just doing a couple of them. So throw them out there.
Bambi's low.
Bambi's love for me too. Everyone's like, I got so upset when they killed Bambi's mom. Like, when they stopped drawing the character.
That's from something.
It
When
is.
they stopped drawing the character.
I got so yeah. He's like, yeah, I got so sad when they stopped
Oh.
drawing the deer. Oh, it's Friends. It's Chandler from Friends.
Yeah.
Who says it. Yes.
Jurassic Park. How'd that hit you?
Low.
I was
Medium.
big into it. They got a new one coming out. I'm excited for though.
Yeah, movies like that are coming out now are, like, make me excited because they're just nostalgic. But that one wasn't like a big one for me. Like, I'm more excited for Top Gun because Top Gun was a big high impact for me.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like one of my mom's movies that she played a lot too.
Do you ever like
I
Raiders of the
recently,
what's up?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that? I've never seen them
Indiana
all.
Jones?
Yes, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you ever done the Indiana Jones experience at Walt Disney World?
I have.
So
think so.
sick. Oh, Frank.
Joe, we gotta show this kid what's up. The Shining. You ever see that?
Great movie.
So to bounce off The Shining, have you seen Clockwork Orange?
No.
Super crazy movie, very like noir film. Same director. To jump off of that, have you seen Eyes Wide Shut?
No.
Nicole
Yes, but,
Kidman, Tom Cruise.
yeah, I would say yes, but I know that's an old movie, so I can't say I remember it well.
Okay. Pulp Fiction is big for me. All the Rockies.
All the Rockies?
Not all the Rockies.
I was gonna say, really, bro?
5 sucked. 6 was all right.
You really want to include that one in there? They should have stopped at 4.
They should have stopped at 4. But so I
Even
feel
the
like
last one, the Rocky Balboa one with the computer
Yeah.
thing, and like I don't like that
I-
either. But
I didn't like that
both
one either.
Creeds were great.
Did you see Creed? Right.
Yeah.
grades were really good.
They
Both
were pretty
Creeds were
good.
good.
They were
Yeah,
good.
I like him. Yo, I got to give him credit too. You know, he really got knocked out in that scene when they were shooting it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Hit.
Michael, whatever his name is.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he so you could look it up, and they show him he's like going like this, getting ready to like take the hit, and the guy goes to hit him, and he really gets hit and really does get knocked out for that scene where he gets knocked down and gets back up.
Oh, for
Yeah.
real?
Yeah, so that's why it looks so
For real,
real.
for real.
Yeah,
Damn, homie.
yeah, bro.
You was the man, homie.
Yo, so the Green Mile actually really got me when
Great
I was
movie.
watching that shit. It's super emotional. That shit gets into depth.
That was
I
like
like-
one of my first real emotional movies. I think.
Bro, I
watched.
hated that guard. I hated that guard, the one that kills
Percy?
the mouse, and
Yeah.
I fucking hated. I was so happy when he got his.
Joe, I feel like that was a movie you cried at.
No, I didn't cry. I was
What? Joe, have you ever cried at a movie?
Yes, I cried during a lot of movies. Toy Story 3 gets me
Oh,
every
really?
time.
I was waiting for him. to
When fucking Woody's up there with Bo Peep and they're saying goodbye. Oh,
No, that's
I love
to infinity. Ah,
how Toy Story is the one that gets him.
Yo,
every
so
time, bro.
Casper always gets me.
Casper,
If we're going
huh?
Disney, yeah, Casper's
Ah,
always the one that gets me at the end.
Casper. True, I see it.
That's a
See
cool
it.
one. So Toy Story 3 really got me when they're in the fucking garbage thing and they're all about to die. And they
Oh.
start holding hands, and that shit fucked me up. I got Joe's
I meant Toy
movies
Story
mixed
4.
up. Well, whichever it was, you're
Three.
right.
No,
when
it's 3. What are we talking about?
How
Messed
many
me up.
Marvel movies have you guys cried in?
How many Marvel movies are there?
That's a good one, right? I mean, the last 3 at least.
Well, I cried during the last Spider-Man about 4 fucking different times.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like the movie.
I had like real reasons
Yeah.
I was crying over, but like 4 times in that movie.
No,
Who
but yeah,
didn't
but I'm saying
cry
just
when
movie in
Tony
general.
Stark snapped his fingers.
Right?
Yep. What's saying Endgame? The one that was before Endgame, which was that? Was that Infinity War?
Infinity War.
Infinity War, Endgame, and No Way Home. All easily. If you didn't cry in those movies, you have no heart. Like, especially if you've seen all of the other stuff that linked it together and you didn't cry during those 3 movies at all at any point, you have no heart. Like,
Which part during Endgame? I mean, Infinity War. Did you cry?
when they all wasn't the rings when they all come through? That was Endgame too. Then
That's Endgame.
okay,
No,
so I'm trying.
Yeah, that's Endgame.
Was it Endgame? So then in Infinity Wars when they all
Disappear.
He's yeah, because he snaps or whatever. So yeah, you can freaking get upset when Hawkeye lost his family and everybody was.
You don't
gone?
find
Like,
out about that until the next movie,
Later.
though.
Yeah.
okay, but you.
So
knew,
I didn't cry in Infinity War because that shit was like
I
they
feel like there was
lost.
still sad moments in that movie that I'm not thinking about. But all right,
You let me know when you.
I'll
think
give you
about
that.
it.
I'll give you.
You,
Well,
you get back to us. On
what
that.
about when he kills his daughter? When I don't want to say his name, kills his daughter for the Life Stone.
Oh word. Nah, when fucking what's her name died?
Scarlett
Gamora.
Johansson.
No, not even Gamora.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, I think it hit me harder.
Well, yeah, but
That's
that was an
true.
Endgame.
So yeah. Yeah, that was
Gamora was more of like a that was like
right. Like oh shit.
first
Black
big-
Widow.
but
I was like
when
oh, hell.
Right.
when what's his name found out about it though, that was a pretty sad moment in the movie.
Yeah,
I forget his name. Her boyfriend.
Star Lord.
Star Lord.
Yeah, Star Lord. There you go. I honestly, Guardians was not really like that big
Oh,
for me.
I
was,
loved it. That shit was great.
Yeah. I watched it just to watch it for the series, but I wasn't like a huge fan. I did like Groot though. He's my favorite. I mean, everybody
So-
likes Groot.
Everybody loves Groot.
How do you not
I
like?
feel like Groot needs more film time.
Well, I
He needs
love
more-
Groot too, just because of
screen
like what he
time.
did for Thor with the whole
Yeah.
axe and like that whole thing was cool.
Thor's gonna be so sick. The
That
new
was
one.
cool.
I can't wait.
That
for
was a cool
Can we-
comic book moment.
Can I talk about this real quick too? I want to ask you guys' opinion. It's not really a spoiler, but just because of what happened with No Way Home, and like I know none of us have seen Doctor Strange yet, but because of this whole multiverse thing now, do you think that Tony Stark's going to come back from some other alternate Tony Stark, like from from the multiverse, like a different Tony Stark from another universe is going to come into one of the movies and be in one of them?
I will let
like
you know
Robert Downey?
after I see Doctor Strange.
Okay. All right.
But I don't think he's gonna be in the Avengers anymore. He might have a cameo here and there in a movie. I'm assuming.
I think Robert Downey will still have scenes in the Marvel series. in the
but I just
future.
think it'll be cameos. It's not gonna be like a character, you know. I
Oh,
don't think
like a
he's-
flashback of him playing
something like
his
that. I
Tony
don't
Stark.
think there's gonna be like.
No,
don't
I
he's
think
gonna
it'll be
portrayed in the movie.
no, I think it'll be other Tony Starks because there was other Spider-Mans and like
True.
It's just going
it
in
could be a
Spider-Mans.
totally different actor playing a
Like,
new Tony Stark.
I don't think oh yeah, it could be a totally different actor and not Robert Downey.
because there's 3 different actors for one Spider-Man. So why
That's
wouldn't there be 3
true.
different actors for an Iron Man?
That's true.
Makes
So
sense.
maybe
this
they
kid.
continue it that way to where he doesn't know the other ones and yeah, you know, that could be it. That'd be a good way
But
to
then,
go.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
True.
I like that type of shit. I like movies that make you fucking wonder what if, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
That's what a fucking movie is. Like some psychological shit that makes you think, like Inception. That shit was fucking dope.
Eh,
What?
I mean, good concept for a movie, but I wasn't like a great huge fan.
All right.
I like
I
you know
thought that
what,
was so sick.
what was the one where they had the time on their arm with Justin Timberlake?
In Time.
Is that what it's called? I thought it was like Limitless or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, that's with Bradley Cooper.
Limitless with Bradley Cooper was
It's a good fucking movie though.
Keep mixing up these fucking movies.
Yeah.
No,
It's
but
got
the one
zero
with the time on
credibility.
the arm, I like that one more than like Inception, like for like a
I
thought
have to
process
watch
on
that one
something
again.
different.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. I don't even think I saw that in its entirety, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, to get back to jump on this again, I feel like if there's certain movies that we're supposed to see, like you're supposed to see as a human race, what do you think those would be on? If you could put like 5 movies on, like everybody needs to watch this movie, what would you put on there?
See, you can't just pick 5 because there's different genres. Like you have
Yeah,
to have
but
like
I'm just
5
saying,
for each
like,
genre.
Culturally, across the world, you know?
Mm.
So because it's difficult to pick comedy because what I think is funny, you might not, and what you think is funny, most of us don't.
Bro, everyone in the world
But-
thinks Coming to America is funny.
Did you see the second one?
Yeah, that one
No.
wasn't as good.
I didn't.
I thought it was funny. Yes, it was very good. But like, would you pick something like that?
No,
The old
I-
one, yeah.
I would go with
What
The
would you
Sixth
pick?
Sense. Everybody.
The
needs to
Sixth
see that
Sense.
movie.
That's a great fucking choice.
That's a good
Everybody
movie.
needs to see that movie.
It's a
That's a
great
good
fucking
movie.
movie.
You're welcome.
What would you pick, Joe? I mean, Frank.
I just told you. He just has to call me out.
I would probably go with it's fucking crazy. And there's so many. You're right. You can't pick five. I could barely pick one. I want to say Up, but I don't think that that's like culturally across the board. Everyone
Okay.
needs to see the movie Up. But
I
I'm
got
just-
another one that belongs on the top 5 list. If you're gonna
Go
go
for it.
there, Wally.
Yes. I would even put that on mine.
Yo,
Movie that had like no script. Literally
Just
barely
fucking
any script.
visually
it's the
amazing.
story and
It's
the
the
meaning
story,
behind
yup.
it and the message. It's so incredible.
True.
See, I would go like
And
more
because
old school.
nobody looks for those things in a Disney movie. I mean, you always look for a message, but like it's just so plain and basic, and it's got such a strong story. Nobody really
You're
gives it
right.
credit for that reason. That's what makes it.
It's a powerful story. What were we gonna say, Frank? What's yours?
I was gonna say I'd probably go something more old school. Like, and it's funny because I'm looking at your list thinking of this. So a lot of these things are standing out to me too. So it's not just in my head, but like off your list, things that are popping out of my face, like Grease was probably a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that
Yup.
one. Great.
American History X, Saving Private Ryan.
See, American History
Reservoir
X was
Dogs.
such a good movie, but such a confrontationally good movie. Like, brought so many things to light for its time that, like, such a great message to it for a movie. Great.
Yeah.
Movie. And what's his name? Again, another great freaking role played.
Ed Norton.
Oh my god, I liked
25th
him as the
Hour.
Hulk too. I wish he would have continued on as the Hulk. Although I do
Yeah, that
like
was pretty cool. I
what's
like
his name that played Bruce Banner, but I did like Edward
Mark
Norton as the
Ruffalo.
Hulk. Yeah, Ruffalo. There you go.
Training Day, Saturday Night Fever, Beetlejuice.
Saturday Night Fever, great movie.
Those are
Beetlejuice,
some
great.
great ones.
Keaton.
Gladiator.
See, I
Full
could do
Metal
Michael Keaton
Jacket.
movies too.
Gladiator. Oh my god.
Michael Keaton was a great Batman. Multiplicity
I
was a
liked
great
him.
movie.
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Keaton was another one. Had a lot of great movies.
Yeah. Fucking love
Yeah.
it. Avatar's dope, but they're coming out with a second one. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, Avatar 2 is gonna be big.
Yo,
We watched the-
Requiem
we-
for a
we all-
Dream
we all
was a
watched it.
fucking shit show of a movie. Crazy. Like, it's just, it fucks with you so hard. I'm sorry, Joe. I just spoke over you.
No,
my
no,
bad.
no, no, no. I was going off of something you said, but keep going.
No, I was just brought that up.
Talking out loud. I was talking out loud.
He wanted to keep things alive.
But
I'm looking now too. You got a couple Brad Pitt ones here. Fight Club, Seven, both great
Yeah.
movies. 7 Years in Tibet, probably one of my mom's favorite Brad Pitt movies of all time. I've seen it a
Really?
million times. Great fucking movie.
that's what's up.
Very long movie. That, and she used to watch The Mexican a lot too
Oh, that's pretty cool.
with him,
That's-
and I think that was Julia Roberts too.
yeah,
A
and
lot of and what?
I was gonna say, and James Gandolfini, the guy who plays Tony Soprano.
The product.
No, but he's gay in that movie, and he played
Yeah.
that role great. He was so funny in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Across the Universe is a really great musical. Have you guys seen that?
never seen it.
Did you ever see
I
the
think the
movie
only
Chi-
musical
The
I've
Beatles. What's that?
You ever see the movie Chicago? That's a good musical movie. Like,
Yeah, I actually saw the play.
I was actually just about to say the only movie I think I've ever seen that was a musical was The Newsies, and I loved The Newsies.
Newsies is good.
Christian Bale. Oh,
Yeah.
Santa Fe on my own. Oh, I love that movie.
It's such a wonderful voice. You're like
Kid's
the
got a
songbird of our
voice.
generation.
I'd like to think it's like Fergie and an
you
angel.
sound like
mixed
an
together.
angel.
I can't even look at you right now. That's a great one. I fucking love that one to the day I die. I could
No,
quote
I
that
do
shit
like
for
the
days.
Newsies.
I like those comedy movies that like all your boys have seen and you could always quote that shit. It's mad funny
Yeah.
when you're like at work and you're just saying some dumb shit.
No, well, the Scream one you did earlier was good. Hit me with the
Yeah.
phone. That was a good response.
I love those type of movies. 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up.
Night at the
They just put
Roxbury.
Forgetting Sarah
Night at the
Marshall back on
Roxbury.
Netflix.
Austin
Quote that
Powers.
movie.
They just what?
They just put Forgetting Sarah Marshall back on Netflix.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Nice.
great movie. I watched it twice already since it's been back on.
You guys ever see The Usual Suspects?
No, I
Great
haven't.
fucking movie.
I have not seen that
Never?
movie. Nope.
Joe, it's so good. I
I
have it
know,
on
I
DVD. Surprise. But you can
That's
check
like
it
a-
out.
Everybody in it too.
That's a good cast. It's just
Oh.
solid. I can't
I
even
think
talk
that's what
about
we
it.
would call a super cast.
I would go with that. Yeah. Well, because they have like the Expendables that has all them in it. I don't really like
Yeah.
movies that they just kind of jam Hollywood in it.
No,
I'd rather it be like one or two characters, but I get what you're
Ocean's
saying.
11 was dope.
Yes.
yeah,
that
that
was
was another
really,
super
really
cast
good.
movie.
That was a good movie. See, they
That
kind of
was
did
really
differently.
good.
Mhm.
Similar to like Goodfellas and Bronx Tale and Godfather, Casino.
Well, that was because they
you
were all
have
like,
that
yeah.
crew, you know, like
'cause they
Yeah,
were
but
all
they're
from that genre
superstars,
of
but
movies.
they were also kind of fairly, not as big at that time, no?
Mhm. Yeah, they got bigger
Some of them
because of
were.
those
Well,
movies and
yes, of
making them all
course.
together a lot. Because it was like they were all in each other's movies, where like one of them was bigger, the other one was bigger. in
Adam
another movie.
Sandler does that. He always keeps
Exactly.
the same amount of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in his movies.
Another good super cast movie is Reservoir Dogs.
Yes,
Or I don't know if you would call that a
Reservoir Dogs
super
is
cast
great.
movie, but there was a lot of good big names in that one too.
Big.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It was everybody was big.
That was a good one. That's a great fucking movie. Actually, did I show you the fucking design that I did for it, Reservoir Dogs?
Yes, you did.
I think so. Yeah.
Joe, I
Yeah.
don't think. Did
I don't think you should. Actually, I don't think you showed me. No.
You definitely showed me the other night when we were on the phone and you were doing like
Yeah.
the Big Elon, the Tupac and stuff.
So I got some pretty cool designs. Anyways, what
I'm
was I
surprised he
saying?
didn't say the Wizard of Oz yet, Alice in Wonderland.
So
I know there's a
it's
lot of
funny you
other
bring
movies
those
too
both
that
up.
Danny,
Wizard
like-
of Oz, wow.
I've always wanted to watch those two of those movies on acid. I haven't, but I think that would be a wild trip. They're both very like similar but different, and the Wizard of Oz like matches up perfectly to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And I've never actually done it in full, but I went on YouTube and I watched it a little bit. It's so fucking crazy how like
Isn't that
the
crazy?
music, yeah, the music like
I've seen that on YouTube also.
orchestrates where the movie is going. It's so cool. It's so wild. But I haven't seen it in full. I'd like to.
Okay.
So I don't know. Was there? Yeah. So that's really it with those two movies.
I don't know where to go with that, but okay.
I don't know. I guess period. Next sentence, or hit enter, and we can start a new paragraph.
Oh, that's funny.
A lot of Jim
Oh.
Carrey movies had a big effect on
Yo,
me.
I
Big
fucking
time.
love Jim Carrey.
Ace Ventura, like Liar Liar, movies
Yeah.
like that, man. I watched a million times.
Good
Yeah, I
shit.
said Liar Liar on the
Good.
Mask before, but yeah, Ace
The
Ventura is another big
Mask,
one.
You know,
Yeah. I recently saw The Mask.
Great movie.
Fucking great movie.
So you know
Alright.
he retired now, right? He
he's,
officially
Jim Carrey,
retired.
yeah.
He came out on like Good Morning America. No, he's
Something going
not.
on up there. Woo.
He's just very into painting now, and like he said it. He on his thing that he said on Good Morning America, he said he's like, I just feel like I've done enough and I have enough. And he was like, unless like someone comes
He's
to me
just
with
gonna-
like some gold script that like I feel like people need to see this movie and like I want to do it. He's like, I'm done. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was his last movie where he was Eggman.
I thought I heard him say he was going to do another Ace Ventura. I don't know.
I wish.
I don't think he would at this late in the game.
Yeah.
He's too old now.
I
Probably
feel
not.
like if this is true and he's really retiring, he's conquering the game right now
Mm-hmm.
because you've done all your movies. Everyone loves you. You never had any kind of like scandal or something like that in the media. I mean,
Yeah, he didn't have a lot
besides,
of
like,
hate.
There was a lot of stuff going on with his wife, I think, or his ex-wife. I don't know. or-
Yeah, there is stuff.
Even
going
that
on.
You know,
wasn't like a
but-
big thing where he had like a
Right,
lot
right,
of hate
right.
and stuff. Like
So
yeah, he
now
never had
he's
any
just like-
downfalls in his career.
You know, I'm good. I'm happy painting in my shed. Let me be. Let me live
Yeah.
my life. You know,
And
He's-
exactly, he's made
super
enough, he's done
spiritual
enough.
now.
He's had so many awards and stuff throughout time and stuff.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of awards, and yeah, he's done his thing. Good,
Let him
good
like
for him.
that's it. Hall of Fame. Go for it.
Hell yeah.
There's a few more movies I want to just name off quick that had like some really serious fucking emotional stuff with me. Armageddon is probably the top movie that I've seen that could actually make me cry with no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, dude, when he's fucking hits the button to make him go up, Terry, no! Oh, that scene gets me every time, bro. No
Fucking
joke.
Liv Taylor, forget about it, bro.
Oh,
There's that. American Pie, the trilogy, the first three, those had such an effect on me because when I was in high school, I
Yeah.
really thought that's what college was gonna be like.
this
Boy,
is
was
one
I
of those
wrong.
movies that impacted Danny that influenced him. Like Danny is like Kevin to me. Like no joke. Like now you're like you always want to get all the guys together. You always want to make a speech. You always want to get the picture. You are Kevin. Like that
Yeah.
is you. If you were one of the
That's
characters
true.
from American Pie.
I love my homies. I love my homies.
This is just funny.
I like that. Yeah. Fucking, I said this before, but Requiem for a Dream fucked me up big time. Same thing with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That was very emotional, similar to 500 Days of Summer, because I was going through some shit with some girls at the time, and it just kind of connects. Similar to Black Swan, but we won't go there.
Black Swan is so sick.
He don't want to go there because he don't know if she still listens or not. I'm gonna say
Oh,
One of my favorite movies of all time, probably like top 5, maybe like top 4 is gonna, and I'm gonna finish with this because I don't think anything can top this. 8 Mile.
oh, that's
I
Dan.
should
That's
have
a
to
that's
that. Yeah,
Dan.
Eight
I should have
Mile.
stuck to that. Yeah.
Yo, like when I tell you how many times I've seen it, it's actually disgustingly embarrassing. I can literally recite the entire movie like verbatim, word
Most
for
watched
word.
for sure.
Most watched for sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
Danny's quoted that movie so many times.
That's it.
So throughout the episode, like we could probably, I don't know if you guys have anything else, but I'll say, since you said before the way you're like, oh, I kind of want to rattle it off a couple more. I've
Shoot
said
'em
that
up.
Pool Hall Junkies was my most watched. You said that was 8 Mile was probably your most watched. So Joe, what's your most watched movie of all time? Like what movie have you
Ooh.
seen more than any other movie?
That's a good question. It kind of
Honestly,
like you and I just said it.
You want to know? I've watched a million times.
That's what he asked. He said, "What is your most watched movie?" So I'm gonna go with that's
Beetlejuice.
yo,
Really?
for real.
I've watched that movie more times than I can.
Jump in the
even
line. Fuck your buddy.
Okay,
good,
I believe you.
it's a good
love
one.
it. Such a
Okay,
big
I
fan of
believe
that
you.
movie.
All right. What was it about that movie that did it for you?
Again, it was just a Halloween theme
Okay.
movie, and I love that, and I just love the whole I don't know, I just
Character
love
that he
it.
plays?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. He played a
He-
fucking
Michael Keaton did a really good
Michael
job with
Keaton
that.
killed it. It was such a good movie. It was fun. You know what I mean? Creepy.
So
I like that shit.
there's rumor that they are coming out with Beetlejuice 2, and he's gonna play it.
Yes, I heard.
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited for that. I am.
Same.
That's awesome.
Samesies.
I would love to see that.
I'll definitely go.
Nobody else could play that but him.
I would agree. Yeah, it's cool. I was actually Beetlejuice for Halloween a couple years back.
He
I
was.
remember that.
Joe, I think you would be a really good Beetlejuice.
You think I'd be a good Beetlejuice?
Yeah, man.
I could try it one year.
I think you should.
Alyssa was Beetlejuice one year
Really?
when we went to the city.
That's right. No, I thought she was.
Oh no, wait, not when
You
we
guys
went
were
to the
Jack and Sally.
city. Yes, for the city. When did she do Beetlejuice? She did Beetlejuice sometime. I don't even remember.
Long time
Long
ago,
time ago.
in a galaxy far away. I don't know the rest of the, whatever.
Well,
but
it's not a
anyways,
song, so it's not that at all.
well, no, it was the American Pie song, right?
Uh-huh.
My Miss American Pie. And I was just going with long, whatever. I'm trying to.
It
Wasn't
wasn't
working out, I
funny at the
guess.
moment.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Let's just.
I was like, he tried to save himself and he made it worse.
I
Made it
don't know.
worse.
I threw myself the life vest and I just didn't put her on. It's like, fuck it, I'll drown with the ship. Titanic was a good one. Didn't we start with Titanic?
You guys
No,
start with that.
we
That
didn't.
wasn't really. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
Danny mentioned it, but we didn't really
Oh,
talk
yeah.
Brought
about
it
it
up like
because
midway.
I don't know. That wasn't really.
It's
big
just
one
a
for
great
me.
movie. It's a classic movie. You watch it
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, this is so well put together. Such a good story. This is a classic movie.
Right. There's a lot
I didn't
behind that
watch it
shit,
a
the
million
filmmaking.
times.
It's like The
stuff.
Godfather. Like you watch it, it's a good movie, but you don't want to do the whole thing to yourself every time.
I know, because they're so long. I like two
Yeah.
before one, though.
One
Three-
more thing, actually, I got to ask. We talked about movies. Now that we're kind of current talking about shit, what's the most watched TV show you've ever watched? Like, I've watched multiple series of TV shows
multiple times.
multiple times. Like,
See,
I'll tell you, my top three are Dexter, which I've watched
Sick.
probably 30 times. Breaking Bad, which I'm rewatching, Sopranos,
Sick.
and Sons of Anarchy. I can continuously watch those 4 series back to back to back, over and over and over and over.
Okay. So, Frank, you want to jump on this one? Nah, you know what?
You
Take a
want me
seat
to
for a
cut you off
second.
because we have two of the same, so I already know this.
Take a seat for a second. So I've watched series in full. I'm not a fan of rewatching them in its entirety. Again, what I will do is
That's
go
what I'm
to an
asking. That's the
episode.
question, though.
I know. Well, I'm explaining to you why I object to your question.
He doesn't go back and rewatch the whole thing. He picks out certain episodes that he likes
That's
to
it,
watch.
and I'll go from there. Like starting with season 2, episode 5, and just keep
Bro,
going.
but you do that with like Family Guy episodes. I'm
I
talking
do
like
that with
TV
Family
shows.
Guy, New Girl.
I was gonna say
telling you.
I do what he's talking about too with Friends and New Girl. So like I don't always go back to season 1, episode 1, but sometimes I'll just go to like season 2 or season 3, like somewhere where I liked in the show, and then
Right.
watch the rest of it through and keep continuing to watch it.
That 70s show.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
all
But
the
yeah, New
time,
Girl
man.
and Friends are definitely on mine.
The
those are
Office,
the two
How
that
I Met
needed
Your
to say.
Mother.
I
Those
Met Your
are-
Mother, okay.
I don't watch anything in full again.
But in the sense of what Joe's saying, like ended it and then watched it again in full, for me, it'd have to be Sons of Anarchy. I probably watched Sons through like 6 or 7 times. That like, yeah, I love Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what's up. And
Thanks for a shitty answer, Danny.
bro. Like, what do you, when do I have time to rewatch a series? I'm
I don't know.
watch
You have
this
time to
once.
watch everything else, so maybe there's a series that you rewatched before. You're telling me there's not one series you rewatched full and through that you were like, "Wow, I love this show so much. I'm gonna rewatch the whole thing."
Even
Even
if it was
if
months
even
later,
if
like
it's one season.
yeah, even if it was months later and you were like, oh, you know what I did? I love that show so much. I just seen it on this thing again. I want to go back and watch it again.
No, I don't.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could be listening. No, see, I'm gonna contradict myself now because when I say that, I feel like if I'm rewatching something like a series, I'm like I could be putting that time towards something new. However, I'll watch the same fucking movie over and over and over again.
I was just saying, because just like how you said about movies, you could rewatch it and see something that you didn't see before. Or like me personally, I love rewatching stand-ups. Like
I'll
Dave
rewatch
Chappelle,
stand-ups. That's
for
just
what
mad
it's
funny.
worth, and fuck, I forgot his first two, for what it's worth, and I forget what the other one is. But those two, I've watched those on repeat so many times. Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious, watched it so many times. Tom
Yeah,
Segura,
dude.
all of them, watched them so many times. Like that's something that I could say I could just do on repeat as comedy.
I love
True.
that shit.
I've done Dane Cooks a couple times over.
Yeah, Dane Cook's
was
another
good.
one.
Same with Chris D'Elia. I've watched a bunch of his over.
Chris
and
D'Elia
over.
is funny. I like his shit.
And even now, more recently, Burt Kreischer. Love Burt.
Bert, how we doing?
Birdie Bert. Oh, hey Bert. Well, okay. That's pretty much the movies that made us.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we went through a lot.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you for the likes, listens, shares, and follows. Appreciate it. And we would love to hear your favorite movies. So send us a fucking email or something.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, so you could see Joe's in and out of focus.
Yo, that was so funny. I'm sorry. That was great.
Perfect timing too. Like, just as I was about to explain a movie. Like, nope, you can't say nothing.
All right, boys.